It's not every day you get to speak to someone who's breaking barriers in motorsport. I'm joined in by Kush Maini, the third Indian driver to be part of Formula One. He's the reserve driver for Alpine, a competitor in Formula 2. Welcome to WION, Mr. Maini.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You completed 4 tests with Alpine last year, and now this year you are their test and reserve driver. What was the feeling like when you got the first call about the new role?
It was a thing happening over many months, so it was just about me being patient. But to finally get it, and it's just a massive thing for my country and me and my family. It's been a long journey, and to look back and say that I'm a Formula One reserve driver is an amazing milestone to achieve. Obviously, a lot more to come. Obviously, I want that main race seat, which is going to take more time and more work, but to reach this milestone is massive.
You come from a racing family. Your dad was a racer and your brother is one as well. So what was their reaction?
No, they were really happy, and my dad especially. Obviously, it's been a very long journey, and without him, I wouldn't be here at all. So it's very much both our journeys. So as happy as I am, I bet he's even happier, really. So it was a great feeling.
Your brother Arjun didn't have the best experience in Formula 2. Did that ever make you question your own path in motorsport?
No, a very good question. I think Arjun obviously was quite unlucky in Formula 2, but in a way, the struggles he faced, he gave me advice on, and I feel I sort of had like a heads up of what to expect, and I feel I went through quite a rough year last year as well in Formula 2. So to have a third year and to have Alpine backing me after all my F1 tests and doing a good job in those, to have their trust as reserve, and to have one more chance to show what I'm capable of is a great thing, and I don't think a lot of drivers get it, as Arjun definitely didn't get another chance. So I'm very grateful.
What Arjun faced was really disheartening. Discrimination and racism in motorsport has been a major topic of conversation in recent years. Lewis Hamilton has in fact been very vocal about it. Even you have faced racism, especially during your younger days. How did you manage to get through those tough times?
I'm still overcoming them, to be honest. When you're in a young age, I think I was like 12, and you were doing like this parade walk in go-karting, and there were these other kids who were a bit older making fun of your skin color, how you look, how you talk, how you your name. And I think when you're that young, it really affects you mentally, and you get very um, you become very antisocial, and it affects you in a deep way. So it's still a battle I fight every day. But knowing the support I have now and where I've reached, it's a lot easier than the 12-year-old me.
F1 and F2 are two different leagues. Having driven cars in both, how do you describe the experience in each?
No, F1 is a different world. It's a different beast. It's, I mean, everything feels perfect in an F1, because there's so much grip and there's so much downforce. Your first time in an F1, you jump out and you just don't know what to tell the engineer, because everything feels so perfect. Obviously, the more you drive it, the more you understand, and the more you try working on improving it. But I remember my first lap in an F1 was just unbelievable. The forces you feel on your neck, speeds you take through a corner, how late you brake, how quick you decelerate is, and all the tools you have in a car. You can change so many things, and the level of engineering is just something unbelievable. And nothing can prepare you for that first lap in a Formula One car, for sure.
You had a decent season last year with a race win, podium finishes, and even testing for Alpine. So what are your expectations and goals for this year?
I think my expectations is to drive the best I can drive, to finish the year with no stone unturned, and to be happy with how I performed, and to feel like I showed what I'm truly capable of, which I feel I didn't last year. Um, Results are obviously important, but for me, I've been focusing on the process more, um, and uh, I know what I'm capable of, but now it's time to show it to the world, and I feel I have everything. I have all the support system and everything I need to do it.
driving skill obviously stands out, but there's one more thing that does. It's your helmet design. It features Lord Hanuman and the Indian flag. What's the story behind that design?
Since I was very young, Hanumanji's like face and his figure has always hit me deep in the heart, and it's a god that I always sort of felt comfortable with, and it's always felt like I had like this sort of special relationship with. And you know, I read the Hanuman Chalisa almost every day. I know it by heart, and I go to the temple when I come back to Bangalore as like my first on my long list of things to do. And it's a he's on my background on my phone when I open my phone, and I pray to him every night. So it's just a relationship uh, I've shared with him for a long time now, and I don't have a feeling with that like with the other gods in sense, but with him it's different, and it's always been different since I was very young, and it's always grown stronger. So I feel like you can feel alone sometimes in racing, and I always feel like he's there for me, watching over me. So it's great to have him on my helmet as well.
You have an incredible mentor in two-time champion Mika Häkkinen, and you also share a great bond with Narayan Karthikeyan and Karun Chandok. So how does it feel to have such experienced figures in motorsport supporting you?
No, it's huge. When I knew that Mika was going to be my mentor, was seriously like, I mean, I still pinch myself sometimes. I have a call with him after this actually, um, and it's just he's so invested in me, and I just can't believe it sometimes. Every time I message him like, Mika, can you speak to you? He's there. He replies in 2 seconds, and he is always. Every time I get off the phone with him, I feel like I've learned something new, and you really do understand why he is the two-time world champion, um, and it's just amazing to have his input in my life and my career.
The F1 season has begun and it looks quite interesting already. So what do you make out of the season?
No, it's very exciting. It's very exciting. But in the end, for me, it's more learning from the sidelines and picking up what I can. But mostly, it's me performing in F2 and hopefully finding my way into Formula One, which is my goal. So for me, it's going to be an exciting season for sure. But I'm more focused on what I can do in Formula Two and hopefully reaching Formula One soon.
Put you in spot now and ask you, who do you think is going to win this year?
Or I'll say one of the McLarens.
Recently, Shreya Lohia became the first Indian woman to come in F4. She said that you are her inspiration. What do you have to say about that?
No, I've spoken to Shreya a couple of times, and she works very hard, and she's a great driver. So for me, to be her role model and for me to be a role model to many others in our country is something I never thought I would be, and um, it's a great privilege for me to be seen as a role model, and I still don't believe it sometimes, but it's amazing, and for me, it's just gives me more motivation to push harder, to work harder, and then to achieve the dream my country, my family, and I have, which is Formula One.
And who are your role models?
Oh, my role model would be for sure Mika. Even before he became my mentor, he was my biggest role model. Raikkonen was a big one for me, Kimi, in the mid 2000s to late. Um, and I would say Ayrton Senna as well was a big role model.
Who are the drivers you look up to in the current Formula One grid?
I would say Lewis and Pierre. I think Pierre is very down to earth, and I've spoken to him a lot, and I've hung out with him a lot, and he just seems very down to earth and a great driver, and I have a lot to learn from him as well. So I would say from the current grid, probably Lewis and Pierre.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Maini, for talking to us. Hope you have a great season ahead.
Thank you.